Welcome everybody to the HolloTalk podcast. This is Jetpack Nick, and I'm here with a very special guest today, my guy, Malcolm Garret. Say what's up to the people.
What's up to the people? How are you guys doing? Um, I'm glad you're tuned in, and we're gonna have a lot of fun for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure, man. So first things first, how you doing today?
I'm well, man. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed to be in the position that I am in, to be around the people that I'm around, and to be able to wake up every day and add value to the world.
Okay. All right, so let's just get right into it as to how you add value to the world. So for the people who don't know who you are, can you let them know who you are, what you're about, and what you do?
So my name is Malcolm. I go by the artist name of Malcolm Garret. Garret is my middle name, so
Okay.
that's a real name. I'm from Paterson, New Jersey, born
Okay.
and raised. I like to travel, so I've seen some beautiful parts of the world, which gives me a higher creative sense because I'm seeing things outside and I'm bringing them back home and I'm tapping in. And for the last 10, 15 years, I just been on Instagram showcasing my art, showcasing my work, from custom sneakers to photography to custom clothing to branded clothing,
Okay.
and also to positivity, just giving out positive words and positive thoughts to those who may feel like they're in need of that. I went through a health journey
Okay.
back in 2015,
Is, is,
16.
is this something that you want to expand upon?
Yeah, so
Okay, please do.
yeah, I went through a health journey about 2015,
Mhm.
16. Was diagnosed with diabetes,
Oh
and
wow.
yeah, so I just completely changed my life around. I stopped eating horribly,
Hmm.
stopped going out, stopped partying, I stopped drinking. So I completely just did a 180, which led me to start putting up motivational videos on Instagram as well back in that time, in which a lot of people who connected with me, they DM me, and some people would see me in the street and be like, yo, your videos did wonders for me, or your videos helped me change how I looked at eating or how I looked at a lifestyle. So that's how I truly added value to the world, as well as providing that creativity that was given to me. We're all born with gifts, and I believe once we realize we have these gifts, we give it back to the world. That's what a gift is. You give it back.
For sure.
And the fact that I've been giving back my gift to the world, God has blessed me tremendously because He wants me to keep continuing to give that gift. So what is He going to do? He's going to keep continuing to bless me
You
to give
already
more.
know.
So that's who I am. That's where I came from. Those are the things that I've been into, that I've been through. Like I said, the health journey is what really changed my whole life and what really put me in a position of purpose. Because I believe if you wake up without a purpose, you have no direction in life. You have no
That's a
navigation
fact.
system. Um, any man walking this planet, if he knows his purpose, you can't really touch that man.
Hmm.
But if any man that's walking this planet or woman and they don't know their purpose, they're lost. And that's a fact. It's just a simple fact. And your purpose doesn't mean you're 9 to 5. It doesn't mean having children, right? Like
Hmm.
those are things that are added on to the purpose. But the true purpose is, I believe, to touch humanity in a way where people are lifted and guided by you because you're lifted and guided by a higher spirit.
So let me ask you a question pertaining to what we talk about right now, and this is actually kind of funny because this will be a question that you will ask later on in the conversation, but we just gonna get right to it. So I
Mhm.
tend to ask people like that I come across who I personally believe are doing great things and are impacting the world and people at a substantial rate. So for yourself, I'll ask you: do you kind of like take it in as far as like how you're impacting people? Like does it resonate with you, like as to the impact that you're having on people's lives with what you do, or the journey that you went on and what you can share from that specific journey, or do you not even really think about it like that?
I'm a reflector. I reflect. I reflect. Sometimes during reflection, I get emotional
For
because I
sure.
think about where I came from and where I'm headed and where I want to. Well, I think about where I came from, where I am, and where I want to go. So when it comes to the way I impact people, I sit down and I think, I'm like, man, it's not a game. It's not a game anymore to where you wake up and you want to like just party and throw your life away on drinking and just doing, having multiple women and having an abundance of stuff you really don't need.
Right.
So I sit back and I reflect. Do I like women? Of course. Do I like things? Of course.
For sure.
Right. But it's not the end all be all. And once I feel like you realize that as a person, as a human, and you realize the bigger picture, which is to enlighten and brighten up people's days and bring a certain type of joy to people through the things that you're doing, you take a life a little bit more serious. I told somebody the other day, I take life serious, but I'm not serious.
Okay.
I'm not walking around with a sad face or a mean face, but I do take life serious because life is precious. Life is amazing when you
Yeah.
have
You
an
only get
outlook.
one of these, man.
I believe you get more than one.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe you get more than one. You get more than one while you're living.
Okay. All right.
Like I said, and the perspective behind that is I partied, I drank. That's one life. That's one life. I stopped doing those things. Now I'm living another life.
I got you. Okay. All right.
I feel you live different lives as you level up to the life that you're really supposed to live. You can live one life, but that for me means you're doing one thing every day until the day you die.
I got you.
That's not the life to live. That's not what we're here for. We're here to evolve.
Elevate. Yeah, we gotta elevate, evolve.
We're here to evolve. So when I was 20 to about 33, that was one life. But within that life, I lived many different lives.
For
I
sure.
partied. I was a socialite. I was a musician. I did music. I did production. I rapped. I did shows. I dropped mixtapes. That was lives right there. And then after that, the 33 to now, I'm 41 now.
Okay.
33 to 41, that was the level up. That was the different lives. I believe also while you're here, if you reach the pinnacle of the life you're really supposed to live, when you transition over, meaning when your body dies, you have the choice whether to come back or not.
Okay.
To acquire a new body. And the reason why I say that is because I do a lot of spiritual reading. I listen to a lot of things, and all of these things make sense. They resonate with my soul as far as you're here to learn a lesson. Whatever lesson you didn't learn in your previous life, you came back to learn that lesson again. And once you learn that lesson, then I believe when you transition, you elevate to a higher consciousness, a higher being, right? So the goal is right now in this physical form for me to live that Christ-like consciousness. Because once I live that Christ-like consciousness, I feel like I'm out of here. I don't want to come back and do this again. I really want to ascend and be with God, and be that Christ-like consciousness. So that's just my view.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, that's just my view of the spiritual world. We'll never really figure it out. We'll never really know.
Yeah,
but that's how I feel.
So let me ask you a question in the terms of what we're talking about right now. So for the work that you feel like you still want to do, what does that work look like for you to get to that level of consciousness that you're talking about?
Inner work, just knowing that if my mind is set on the greater good, I'm going to receive that. So that's inner work. That's me softening my heart.
For sure.
Me being more open to people's ideas and more open to the way people are. Because sometimes when people are a certain way, you might be, I don't like him, or I don't like that, or you got to let all that go. Because the Christ-like consciousness isn't about that. It's about accepting someone for who they are and say, you know what? I accept the fact that you're this way. I don't have to be around it.
Right.
But I accept it. Like, it's okay. You can be that way. You can live that way. You can say those things. Is it right? I don't know. I can judge you, but righteously. They say only God can judge, but we can judge righteously. And what I mean by that is, hey, brother, you don't have to talk to your girlfriend that way.
Right.
Why are you speaking to your child that way? Or, hey, man, you shouldn't take from people who don't have. That's judging righteously, rather than saying you look crazy wearing that. Right? Like, That's two different ballparks. That's two different playing fields. Because I might think you look crazy wearing that, but in your mind, you're like, I feel good wearing this. So that's all that matters. So that's what I mean. Just working off those judgments, working off that resentment in your heart for things or holding grudges. That's the work that we need to do to achieve that Christ-like consciousness, to be able to walk around and be like, yo, I'm gonna feed you. Even though me and you don't see eye to eye, I want you to eat.
For sure.
I want you to be okay. Let me give you these gems in life. Let me tell you what's out there without scaring you. Because a lot of people might try to be like, oh, I'm just telling you what's best for you. But in reality, they're throwing you fear tactics. They handing you fear. Oh, don't do that because it is. Well, why can I do it? That was your outcome. That was your journey. That happened to you. That doesn't mean it's going to happen to me.
For sure.
So those are the things that I work on daily. I talk to myself about saying, yo, man, you need to clean this up. Or if I have a disagreement with somebody, and I'll give you a great point, great example. My factory, one day I got a bunch of stuff in, and before I opened this package, I was already rubbed the wrong way. So when I opened the package, it was a bunch of items in the package that just wasn't right. So I'm looking at I'm like, man. So I start going off on, I'm not cursing, but I'm going off on, I'm like, yo, this isn't this isn't that, this isn't that. And then a few moments later, I sat in silence and I thought, I'm like, let me apologize to this guy, because that wasn't right. Like, I don't do things perfect.
I ain't even had to do all that.
That's what I'm talking about. Stuff like that. So I apologized to him. I was like, look, my fault, XYZ. Let's just try to get better.
For sure.
And we resolved the issue. Like, simple as that. I mean, things can be so simple. It's just humans. We make things harder. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. When you get to that Christ-like consciousness, just forgiving, letting things go, just letting things be, and just understanding God's got everything under control. And all you got to do is just listen to him and just be obedient and move the way he wants you to move.
So let me ask you a follow-up question to what we're talking about. So on the HolloTalk podcast, I tend to find myself talking a lot about therapy, being that I was, someone who didn't experience therapy until I got to college. And then when I got to college, that was my first time experiencing, going to therapy for the first time, which I always attribute to that being like a very, very life-changing experience for me. And there's no telling where I would be if I didn't do that. So I really try to attribute a lot of, my growth to me going to therapy. Is therapy something that you go to as well, or that you champion?
This is kind of a sensitive question.
Okay, you don't have to answer it.
I'm gonna answer it because I'm honest. Like, there are people who need therapy, but at the end of the day, you're your own therapist.
Okay.
Like, if you really sat down without the devices, without people in your ear, if you sat in quiet and really asked yourself and thought about the things you're going through, you would come up with all the answers. You would really come up with all the answers to why you're moving the way you're moving, right? Oh, I'm angry because John said he didn't like me. Well, why doesn't John like me? Oh, because I dress nice. I dressed it. That's John's problem.
Right.
Like, if I feel confident in what I'm wearing and how I look, I'm good. Right? So, like, some people do need therapy. Like, I'm not going to lie. When I was going through my transition of health and wellness, I went to therapy. I went for one session. I went one session. After that one session, I got it. I haven't been back since. And this was like almost 10 years ago. So my point is this. At some point, how long does one person need therapy? How long? Like, when people say to me, yeah, I've been in therapy for 5 years. Why? That's a serious why. Like, how come? At what point do you start putting the things together, the tools that you're being given in therapy? At what point do you start putting it together and getting your Rubik's Cube right?
Yeah, making it work for yourself. I got you.
At what point do you take your homework home and do it? Because one day I was talking to my sister, my real sister, my blood sister, and
Shouts
she
out
was
to
like,
sis.
and she's like, yeah, you know, there's therapy, this, that, and the third. So I said, at what point do you stop therapy? And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, from the conversation we're having, you're telling me this is the problem and this is the answer.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you got the package in front of you. When do you put it together? So that's my thing about therapy. Like, some people may need it, but for how, like, oh, do we really need therapy for 5 to 10 years? Some may, but at what
Right,
point do
right.
you tell yourself, I gotta get it going? I gotta really click it, right? So that's just my thing.
No, for sure. So just like to kind of keep it in the same thing. So would you say that like there's a kind of like a balance that some people could do, like they could be doing the inner work, you know, from going to therapy, but also still trying to figure out the next steps of the things that they worked on, which is why they may still be in therapy? Like, do you think that that's a thing too, or no?
Repeat that.
I said, so do you think that there could be a balance between like people going to therapy and, you know, doing the inner work and doing the homework as you put it, but also still attending therapy to figure out what the next steps are once they did the homework for that particular thing that they were going to therapy for to begin with?
Um, I I don't know if this will answer the question, but I just feel at some point you have to take that homework home and
Hmm.
apply it. At some point, you have to take that information that you're given from the therapist. If the therapist is telling you, well, you need to let go of the idea that everyone's gonna like you. Okay, that's the answer. I need
Yeah,
to go home and work on, if they don't like me, they don't like me, whatever. But we can't come therapy for 5 years, sit in a session and talk about that same thing.
right, right.
Like, when I talk to people sometimes, because I feel like some people come to me for these talks, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And some people will come to me, let's say December 8th, they'll come and say, yeah, I'm having an issue. I just can't seem to get over the fact that, my ex cheated on me. I'm
Mm,
just I'm just throwing this out there. I spend days thinking this, that, and the third. I'm like, well, maybe you should read, or maybe you could, you know, do some inner work by just saying affirmations. Here's a
mm,
list of affirmations. Do this, try this, that, and the third. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, yeah, cool. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna try that. Let's say 2 months later. Yeah, I just can't get over the fact that my ex cheated on me, this, that, and the third. I'm like, did you do your affirmations? Did you do? Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. 5 weeks later, the same conversation. So
mhm.
in my mind, I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like, do you just want to keep coming here talking to me? Like, do you just need a shoulder to cry on all the time? Or are you really trying to work? Because here's the thing about inner work. You're gonna cry.
For sure.
You're gonna feel depleted. You're gonna be alone. You're gonna go through rough patches. So I think at that point, that's where most people are scared. They're scared to be in that closet in complete darkness to figure out their own minutia.
It's an uncomfortable feeling.
It's a very uncomfortable feeling. So that's why I feel like people just stay in therapy, because they don't want to be in the closet alone. To each his own, right?
Yeah.
But at some point, you really have to ask yourself, when am I going to get out of this? Like, how can I really get out of this funk and work on getting out of that funk? So if there's a balance that's needed for some, cool, find that balance. If there's a game plan, like, I really feel like at some point, sometimes it should be, you know what? I'm gonna go to therapy, but I give myself a year. It
Okay.
should be a goal, because we got goals for everything else. Oh,
Absolutely.
I'm saving up to get the house. I'm saving up to get the car. I'm saving up for these new sneakers. I'm saving up for this. I'm putting money aside for this. Why not set a goal for therapy? Yo,
Mhm.
look, I'm giving myself a year to get in here and get right. If I could do it in 6 months, bet.
Better. That's even better. Do it in 6 months.
Goals, you know, goals set. We sometimes we set our goals on things that don't matter.
You were absolutely correct.
Right? Like you could buy the house, but you still in therapy. You're not happy.
Mhm. Yeah, they say there's a lot of some of the most unhappy people in the world is the richest people in the world, so
You're only gonna find it in here.
mhm.
Not in a house, it's not in a car, it's not in a fat wallet, it's not on a debit card, it's not on a credit card, it's not at the strip club, it's not
Right.
in prostitution, it's not in clothes or materials, it's right here. You gotta really say to yourself, like, yo, what I said to that person the other day was terrible. I need to apologize.
Mhm.
Damn, my ex-girlfriend left me back in 92. Whatever. It wasn't meant to be. She wasn't good enough for me.
Right.
Like, you gotta really champion yourself. You gotta get to that space.
Yeah, yeah, because I was
Yeah,
just
you
about
gotta
to
get
say
to that
it's
space.
definitely easier said than done,
Right,
especially in the beginning. Like, you know, like you said, if you sit with yourself long enough, you tend to have the answers to your own questions. But you know, when you in it, it's very hard to see the 360 view of which you probably will get to if you sit long enough to, you know, put the puzzle pieces together to be like, oh, this is the full picture. Now I know how to move. So you are absolutely right in the sense of, you know, you can go through this particular thing of therapy or just whatever your outlet is, but at some point you do got to kind of come up with the understanding of, all right, it's the work has to be done by me for me, and I need to get to this point to, you know, move on to bigger and better things, because I can't waste too much more time worrying about things that can't change, which is, from my experience, one of the hardest things to do, which is trying to be like, whatever happened, happened. Let's move on to what we can actually influence. And you
Yeah.
know, sometimes that takes time to make happen. But I do appreciate your explanations of, you know, how you feel about that particular subject.
Yeah, I'm not down in therapy. Some people need it. I used it
Yeah, me too.
for one time. Yeah, I went one time and I sat with my and the type of therapy I went to spiritual, like spiritual
Okay.
work. Like when I walked in, she had crystals laid out. She had music playing to get my chakras going, like just that type of work. So when I went,
That sound like Reiki, right? Ain't that what
yeah,
it?
yeah, it was something in that vein. And I went, she asked this how it went.
No,
I went,
talk to me.
she had cards, right? On
Mhm.
the cards, it had a bunch of words. It had loving, caring, or what are those verbs or pronoun? Like I don't remember.
Uh,
Loving, caring, giving,
let's go. Let's go
pronoun,
with
verb,
verbs.
whatever,
Let's go with
adjectives.
verbs.
All you English majors out there, don't get mad, don't get upset. Because I'm not in school, so and I
For
don't
sure.
at this point it doesn't really matter. But
No, not at all.
she had a bunch of words, right?
Mhm.
And she's like, choose the cards that you feel you are. I said, okay. So the ego took over. That's another thing. Ego. The ego is what stops you from really working on you.
Thank you for saying that, because that is the one thing that people definitely need to understand, and including, I'm sure, me and you too, talking about it ourselves. The ego is definitely something that you gotta kill or suppress enough to grow, because
I
with
Yeah,
ego you won't grow.
yeah. The ego is in front of you a lot of times.
Hmm.
Ego is speaking for you a lot of times. So when I'm talking at some points or sometimes, and I'm consciously talking and I know my ego is talking, I'll say like my ego is talking right now, but
Hmm.
XYZ, blah, 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 because I'm consciously aware, like, okay, my ego is really speaking right now. But um, I say that to say she lays out these cards and she's like, yeah, just pick the cards you think you are. I said, all right, cool. So I start picking out giving, caring, loving, all these cards. So she gets the cards back and she's like, so you're loving. When's the last time you said you love somebody? I was stuck. Couldn't
Mm.
say nothing. You're giving. When the last time you gave? Uh, Stuck. You're this. When the last time you did that? Shit, damn. You're not any of these things, Malcolm. Your ego has picked those. You're picking these because people are telling you you're not in it. Because if you felt you was really these things and you did these things, you'd have answers for me right off the rip.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not any of these things. See how the ego can play a trick on you? It makes you think you're bigger than what you are. So people don't want to hear that. People don't want to hear that they're like this.
Right.
They don't want to hear that. You know what else put in perspective to me that we're like this, but we're big. But when I went to the Grand Canyon, I'm looking at the Grand Canyon, the whole Grand Canyon. I'm like, yo, if I were to fall all the way down there, no one in their right mind, only the people that love me, but no one in their right mind would know I exist.
Right.
If I fell down there and yelled at the top, no one would know that I existed. Only my family and friends that I know would be like, where's Malcolm?
Mm-hmm.
Where is he? We can't find him. That's how big the Grand Canyon. That's how it let me know, like, yo. So imagine if we just floated out to the universe and looked at the earth. We're small. So for us to walk around here with this big chest out, like, yo, we this, we that, people don't want that deflation. People don't want to be brung down. So that's another reason why people stay in a certain place in life, because their ego is everything that they have. Their ego is their cheerleader. Their ego is pushing them to do whatever, to say whatever, to feel whatever. I think with the ego, you got to pick and choose when you insert it. You know what I'm saying? That's just my belief. But yeah, she did that. And then we had a few more topics to discuss after those cards. As far as like, she asked me a question. She was like, how do you do with criticism? I said, I don't care about criticism. Said it with mad confidence. Criticism don't bother me.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, cool. This, not a third. So we talking. Then I go, yeah, we get into Instagram. So then I go, yeah, man, you know, it's funny to me how people could just come on your Instagram and just start saying stuff, like, you know, saying negative things. And she's like, oh, but I thought criticism didn't bother you. And I'm like, oh, it does.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. We think something, but then when we start talking, and then somebody who's an actual listener is listening to you say things that battled what you said earlier, they're gonna call you out on it and be like, but you just said XYZ and now you're saying this. So you aren't what you think you are. That was the realizations that had to hit me. So from there, I took that homework. I went home and I just sat by myself, excluded everything out. I turned off devices. I just distanced myself. I lived in my studio. So I was going different places to take showers. That's how serious I was about like honing in on what it is that I needed to heal. I'm telling you, started seeing results. And within that, I started meeting more people on the same type of energy.
Right.
More synchronicity started happening. More abundance started coming. More fulfillment started coming.
Cleared that pathway.
And now that I seen this side, there's no way I could go back to the other side. So now it's a matter of getting more and more and more and more acclimated to that spiritual lifestyle, which I'm working on daily. I'm not perfect. I don't want to be perfect. I'm perfect in God's eyes. I'm perfect in my own eyes. That's the ego talking, right? But I don't need to be perfect in your eyes or someone else's eyes, because that doesn't matter. That's not what's going to fuel me to the top. So that's just my whole take on that. So that's a person speaking from experience. I'm not just sitting here talking. Like, that's a person speaking from experience.
You know, and that this is the kind of conversations that I like to have on the HolloTalk podcast, because I'm sure there's a lot of places where you might not be able to have that kind of conversation or talk about these kinds of things that we're talking about right now. We ain't even get to anything on the creative side, which I'll talk about real quick.
Right.
I do want to ask you, you know, what we just talked about, how do you implement that into your creativity?
Oh, authenticity. Just doing things that's authentic to me, that I feel, not chasing, not chasing what someone else is doing or what other brands are doing. Just staying authentic to what I feel is me. I have a very colorful personality. but at the same time, I know how to hone it in. I know how to be direct at moments,
Mm-hmm.
because you got to pick and choose your spots sometimes.
Of course.
Um, but just being authentic to who you are. I am a loving person. I am a loving person. I do love people. I'd like to take a break from people at times, for sure, but I don't have any distaste towards anybody. Um, I am giving. I give. I give to the school across the street from my house quite
Okay.
often. I
You
don't
want you
broadcast
want to
it.
shout out to school?
School 20,
Okay.
public school 20. I don't broadcast it, because I don't think that I need to walk around here saying, "Yo, I did this for this person. I did this for
Oh
that
yeah,
person."
yeah, I got you. But no, that definitely take a moment to, definitely shout it out,
Yeah,
to let people know, you're doing some cool stuff out there. So shouts out to PS20.
yeah. I give information if someone comes to me and they're serious about something. Hey, Mal, I started this brand. I got it trademarked. I got this going on. I'm
Hmm.
just missing this one piece of information that I think I may need here. This is what I know. Boom. So I'm not a gatekeeper, as
Okay.
far as like information and things like that. So I'm willing to give. I'm willing to speak up for people if I feel like, yo, why you speaking to that person? I was in Target one day and this lady had a watermelon underneath her cart. I
Hmm.
personally, she was trying to steal it. But
Yeah.
and I say that because the way she reacted when the employee pointed it out just led me to believe, like, you didn't have to go crazy. Like, so basically what happened was the lady was like, "Oh man, don't forget you got a watermelon under your cart." And immediately the lady goes, "Why don't you mind your effing business?" And I'm
Hmm.
like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
turned around, I was like, "Sister, why you speak to her like that?" Like, all she said was, you should mind your effing business too. I was like, oh, I said, I hope God blesses you, because that's not the way you should be talking as a
Nah,
woman. As a woman, you should not be talking that way. So from that standpoint, sometimes I interject myself. I was walking one night, and this woman was walking with her children, and she was just cursing her daughter out, something crazy. And I stopped, and I was like, "Yo, why are you talking to her like that? That's a child."
yeah.
She told me the same thing. "Why don't you mind your effing business?" I said, "It is my business. You're loud. I can hear you." And I walked away. I don't sit and engage.
Yeah,
I say
yeah,
what I
nah,
need to say, I get out of there.
yeah.
And I walked away. And as I'm walking away, she was just mouthing off a bunch of
Mhm.
profanities at me. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. So yeah, those are the things that brings you back down, brings your humility back down, and makes you humble. It puts you in a place of, this needs to be right. So um all of those cards that I picked out, I became. I
Okay.
should
Alright.
I
So
picked out.
you actually saw some real growth from that experience going to
Yeah,
that
yeah.
therapy session.
I became a listener. Because before I didn't listen, I would just be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." But now I listen. I listen to people,
For
and I
sure.
just listen to people talk. And it's sometimes it's very sad, because a lot of people talk themselves down and they don't even realize it. And then they'll
Oh,
throw,
plenty of
"Oh, I
people
was
do.
just joking. I was just joking." Like, no, words have
Oh, it's
tremendous power.
tremendous.
So if you're calling yourself dumb, then guess what? You're gonna keep making dumb mistakes,
Mhm.
because you're professing that on yourself. But if you call yourself great, or, you know what, I made a mistake, I'll be better next time. Guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna be better next time. Simple as that to some. But some just, they don't get it. And it takes a while for people to get it. And it took a while for me to, it took me about 35 years to get it.
No, I mean, and to be quite honest with you, sometimes people don't get it at all.
At
Now,
all. At all.
for me, and like this is why I like mentioned the whole therapy thing and how like it basically changed my life in the sense of the growth that I've experienced, from that time to this very day. And I think what it did for me was it just allowed me to put things into perspective, to say like a lot of the things that you were saying, like some of these things that we deem to be super important is not really important, and it's kind of a barricade in front of you in order, to stop you from getting to the growth that you truly richly deserve. And I also talk to people like I'm talking to you and having these kinds of conversations, people who have had, more experience than I have, or went through different things that I am either currently going through or will go through at some point. And I try to talk to you all and learn, from just the kinds of conversations that we have. Like even right now, I'm learning a whole lot from, what you're talking to me about. So I think for me, it was cool that I was able to kind of do it early. And I'm now seeing the results of doing it as early as I've done it, and how it just allows me to feel on a regular basis. People like, damn, why you always seem happy, cool, calm, collected? That's because I'm pretty content with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, so I say all that to say, I'm very appreciative of, like I said, your perspective of, the experiences that you went through, and how you can, articulate those experiences and let people know these are the things that you should look for, or these are the things that you should try to do in order to, reach self-actualization, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, whoever's watching this, the key to, in my opinion, and a lot of the books that I listen to or have read, the key is to get away from society, which brings us to retire from society. The key is to like actually be silent, sit by yourself, and enjoy your feelings, even if there's sad feelings. You have to like accept it, like,
For
okay,
sure.
right? Like, not that I'm feeling this, but an example is, all right, I'm feeling sad today. Why am I feeling sad today? Oh, because nobody texts me. Well, maybe they're busy. All right, let me get busy. Let me see what I can do to negate those feelings. Let me go outside. Let me sit with nature. Let me go out to eat by myself. Let me figure out. Let me go travel somewhere. I don't gotta go to Germany, but maybe I could go to Boston, take a little bus ride, or go to Philly, which maybe maybe I can even start in New York, which is the easiest way to just travel alone. Maybe I'll go to New York, rent an Airbnb, and stay in the city the whole weekend
Right.
and just do that. These are key things that help you heal inside, believe it or not. And then once you start participating in certain things like that, you start meeting people like that's on the same wavelength, and the next thing you know, you'll be a much happier person. Like, I had a friend of mine over this weekend. She's like, when I'm feeling whatever, I just detach from everybody. I don't connect with nobody. I don't, I just get away and this, that, and the third. I'm like, that's great. But at the same time, if you have people that are on the time of giving you words that help you elevate, or they're good company to help you figure out different spaces in life that you could touch to help you heal, I don't think you should shy away from those type of people.
Right.
And the problem is, a lot of people do that. They'll get in a certain situation and just isolate everybody, but still be running to the toxic shit that's fucking them up. They'll isolate the shit that might help them. I'm sorry for cursing.
Oh no, you good.
But they'll isolate the things that may be able to help, but still run towards the toxic door. So it's really about getting away, right, from toxic door and things that'll help, honing in on who you are and what you want to be. Because I should take that back. Not honing in on who you are, because if you're in that space, you don't really know who you are. But trying to hone in on who you are, gathering this information on who you really are as a person, as a spirit, as a human, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Configuring that, and then once you configure that out, pop back outside, and guess what? The right people will start coming your way. The right situations will start coming your way. And that's just me speaking from experience. Like, I mean, over this spiritual journey, I've met some of the most incredible, fantastic people. One year I was in a relationship.
Okay.
No, I'm lying. The relationship was over.
Okay.
So after that, the relationship was over. So 2020, 2021, I booked the Airbnb to Arizona, which is my favorite state. Okay. Because out there is where I found peace.
I got
peace is within, but physical peace, Arizona, those states like that with mountains and rocks and vortexes. I went out there. I booked the Airbnb in a cabin, and I booked it because the price was cheap, and the cabin was just such a dope aesthetic. And I was doing photography heavy at the time, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go out here, just grab a lot of pictures, and just chill. It was called Lake Montezuma, Arizona. If you look this place up, it's in the dead crack of like nowhere. Like there's no grocery stores around. You can't even get an Uber out there or Lyft. The only way you can get Uber or Lyft is if you catch it from the airport to your destination.
Gotcha.
Other than that, you're not going out there. I would suggest anyone to rent a car. But I didn't know this information. So I get out there, I get to my destination. And mind you, I told you I'm in this spiritual transformation. Boom. I get in late, like 1 a.m. Next morning, I wake up. I see my Airbnb host sitting on the couch in a recliner chair. And I didn't look to see if the house was shared. And I'm like, damn, this is a shared space. I'm like, so I said, when I walk out, he's like, the guy's name is Dale. He's like, Malcolm, good morning. I'm like, Dale? He's like, yeah. White guy, big white beard, looking like Santa. Literally look like Santa Claus. Big white beard, glasses hanging off his nose, everything. So he's on his laptop typing. So I say, Dale, we're in the middle of nowhere. Where can I get food? Like, can I go to a grocery store? He's like, yeah, there's a market about 20, 30 minutes away. I said, all right, cool. I'll just call a Lyft. He's like, you're not going to be able to get that out here. He was like, I'll take you because I have to go to the market. I said, all right. So I said, Dale, I'm a vegan because I was vegan. I was vegan for 8 years. I did veganism.
Okay.
That's another thing. You got to eat right to clear your mind too. A lot of people don't believe in that, but trust me, if you eat right, your stomach clears, and then all those nutrients and all that information gets to your mind and just clears up.
Thank you for saying that.
Another day. Yeah, that's another topic today. But once I became vegan, like I said, I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm vegan. At this point, I think I was vegan for like 4 or 5 years. I'm like, yeah, I'm vegan. He was like, oh, me too. I'm like, really? Mind you, this guy was like 78 years old. So he's like, yeah, I'm vegan too. He's like, you know what? We'll go to the market. I'll get us some lunch. I'll cook it. We'll sit in the back on the deck and just talk. Sure enough, we went to the market, picked up a bunch of greens, a bunch of lentils, beans, and a whole bunch of stuff, corn. Went back to the crib. He chefed it up. We went outside on the back porch. He had this big open space. It was sunflowers, big sunflowers. They were dead because this was like around winter time. It wasn't cold because it was Arizona.
Yeah, right.
50, 60 degrees. Big sunflowers, but they were dead. I'm just painting a picture. So we sitting out back eating. He's telling me like, yeah, I was there for the Dr. King march. Like I was present. I walked. I was there. Dr. King was such a hero, blah, blah, blah. He started telling me about all these things he was a part of, all these groups that he was a part of about righteousness and justice. He was showing me articles that he wrote on Quora, all these stuff. And I'm like, man, you make moves. And he happened to be a traveling guy. Like he had homes in Guatemala, homes in Mexico, banked up. He had money stashed away. He was one of them dudes that was on some like, don't email me. Message me on this because I don't want them people watching. He was one of them dudes. Right? He was one of them dudes. So we kicked it that day. He was like, yo, I go to the thrift store every Tuesdays and Thursdays, whatever. I said, you thrift? He's like, yeah. I said, me too. He's like, come on, you come with me. He's like, oh, by the way, what do you do? I said, oh, I do fashion, this, that, and that. He's like, really? Come check out my fabric room. Dude had a fabric room. Open the door, bunch of fabrics, bunch of textiles, bunch of towels, all this stuff. So I'm like, yo, what are the odds? Like, right? So we go thrifting. I pick up a bunch of stuff, whatever. He's like, yo, my son makes kombucha. He has it in a store out here. Let's go buy some kombucha. Let's go get some chocolate covered almonds. And let's take a ride to Jerome, Alexander. I want to show you Jerome, Alexander. Jerome, Alexander is a town that's history is Native Americans lived there, and people came and burned it down and left the Native Americans there to burn.
Got you.
And so Jerome is considered haunted by
Okay.
the spirits of the Native Americans. But the town, amazing. Like you'll find crazy Native American textiles and jewelry and things like that. Just it's a historic town.
Got you.
And then the ride up there is like one of those swervy up the mountains hills. It's like high up. So like one of them commercials you see, like a Toyota commercial.
Right.
So we go do that, and we get back to the crib after we finish all of that, and we just talking and kicking it. And when it was time for me to leave him, I hugged him and I cried because the connection was so. This guy took me to a lake. He took me to see a Joshua tree. He took me to a lake. He was like, "Let's go to this lake and put our feet in the water with the fish." So we went. It's the first time I've ever done shit like this.
Right.
Put my feet in the water with the fish. We talking. I'm taking pictures of them. We taking pictures together. We just having a good old time. And when I was time for me to leave, I cried and I hugged him and I was like, "Yo, I want to keep in contact with you." And I kept in contact. I actually went back to Arizona a few years later and stayed with him again.
Okay.
And I still kept in contact with him. I still email him to this day. His name is Dale Ruff. And I say all that to say this. When you start seeking a spiritual space, the clouds open up to the phenomenal people you'll meet. So when you are not in a spiritual space and you running around all this toxicity, you're going to keep meeting those type of people. But when you open your mind and you sit down and you really try to get to the nooks and crannies of who you are and where you want to go, you take home that homework from your therapist and you really do the work, these are the type of things that happen to you. Okay. Straight like that. Like, and that's speaking from real experience. Like I said, I'm not sitting here selling nobody no dreams. I'm telling you exactly what can happen.
Yeah, and what it is.
And what it is. And within that, I saw this one towel that he had. It was an Aztec towel sitting on the bathroom.
Okay.
This was the second time I went back.
Okay.
Because now I got a relationship with him. Second time I went back, he had this Aztec towel sitting on the toilet, like for me to use to shower.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the towel. I'm like, yo, this towel is crazy. So I go to him. I was like, yo, Dale, I'm sorry, but I'm taking this towel home. He's like, what? What are you going to use it for? I said, I don't know. I'm going to make something out of this. He's like, when you make it, let me see it. I said, all right, cool. Took it home. I made some shorts out of it. And by making those shorts, I was able to sell mad shorts throughout the summer, like towel shorts throughout the summer. Just tear away towel shorts.
Yeah.
Towel shorts with designs on them, just going crazy that whole summer. I was just moving towel shorts. So that's another layer behind it. Like when you in that space, you're going to find all types of like creative avenues, creative things, and meet people who are just going to be like, yo, here, you could take this. I don't need that. The amount of stories I have from just being in a creative, from being in a space of healing and getting to know myself trumps the amount of stories I have from when I wasn't in that space. The stories that I have when I wasn't in that space was like, yo, I remember I was drunk as hell this night.
Yeah.
I remember when I was with this one shorty this night and this other shorty. That shit don't matter. That shit don't matter. That shit is learning experiences. But when you talk about what I just explained to you, and these are stories that can just resonate and live forever. Like, yo, bro. Like,
tangible conversations.
Yeah, man. Like, yo, I met this guy and it felt like grandfather and grandson. That's what it felt like. So anybody who's watching this, once again, take what I'm saying and take it serious, take it to heart. Like really dive in on yourself, when they say bet on yourself, that's what it really means. You can't depend on a therapist to get you out of that funk. You just can't. They'll give you, it's like this. You get a flat tire, right? The car company provides the what? The jack. Provide the spare. They might even provide roadside assistance. But who has to make the call?
You.
Who has to take the tire off?
You.
Same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like you take what you have, go home, work on it.
Okay. So real quick though, because I was not like thinking that, like our conversation was going to, go in this direction. So I want to give you space to talk about what you got on currently. So if you could do this real quick, please let the
Right.
people know what you got on.
So okay, so now let's so retire
Yeah,
from society.
yeah, let's bring it all together.
Right. So I mentioned it before. So this is how retire from society connects.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, I was going through a break. I went through a breakup. And at the end of that breakup, I was left with the question, like, who am I? Like, what am I here for? And I would the way I got into therapy was this, and I'm gonna tie it in.
Okay.
The way I did that one session of therapy was this. When I started eating healthier, I started going to this herb store.
Okay.
And when I was in that herb store, I would talk to the lady who worked there. And we would have conversations for 30 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
20 minutes, an hour. Mind you, I'm just going to buy herbs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the store for an hour just talking to her. One day, like it was a little bit before Thanksgiving one year, and I just hugged her and I just started bawling, crying. I'm like, Maria, I just want my family to be this. I want my life to be this. I just want this, that, and the third. She hugged me, rubbed me on my back. She's like, it'll be okay. We took a step apart. She pulls out a business card. She's like, here, come see me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what's this? She's like, just read the card and come see me when you feel like you need to come see me. I said, all right, cool. Read the card, whatever, put the card away. Then something later on hit me like, yo, where's that card?
Pull that card out.
The card, I call her, hey, I want to come see you. And then that's how I got into the session. And when I got to her house, I came in all hot like a flaming ball. She's like, why are you rushing? I said, I don't know. She's like, go back outside and take your shoes off.
Mm-hmm.
When you go outside, look at the sign on the door. So I go outside. I look at the sign on the door. The sign on the door says, slow down. So I was like, oh. She's like, see, you missed that. Often in life, we miss a lot of things because we're rushing.
Mm-hmm.
If we slow down, then we'll catch stuff. And that's all a part of sitting by yourself, slowing down to catch what's going on. So basically what she was doing was probing me every time we met at the store. She was trying to see if I was ready to receive the information. That's another thing. They say when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so true because she just popped back and was like, come see me. Mind you, I'm just thinking she's selling herbs.
For sure.
So with that being said, I had my session with her. After my breakup, I move in my studio. I'm in my studio and I'm like, who am I? Who in my family does photography? Who in my family is creative? Who in my family plays sports? Who in my family got fly? Who in my family got this, that, and the third? So I'm looking through family photos, like, Ma, I need photos. Give me those photos. I got a whole bunch of photos in my studio, just looking at my family. I'm like, man, this is a fly suit, fly glasses. Oh man, they looking like they having so much fun. I'm actually talking like this out loud. I'm like, man, that suit look dope. I'm like, they look like they just having mad fun. Oh yeah, this is fly right here. Yo, man, they look retired from society. And I was like, oh, I said,
light bulb.
I said, that's it. I said, that's the brand. I said, because at that point in my life, I was looking at society like, yo, I can't keep letting y'all tell me what's good for me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't keep letting y'all tell me what's the best moves to make. When somebody says to me, oh, I just want what's best for you. What's best for me? They don't have an answer because they don't really know.
Right.
So that's how retire from society came into play, because it was real shit that I was going through, like a real transition of, yo, I can't let y'all dictate what society says. You need to be married at 30 or 35, or society tells women you got to have children at this age. Society tells you you have to have a 9 to 5, or you have to have a degree to get this or go here. Fuck all of that, bro. As long as my mindset is in the right place, in the right direction, I'm gonna get whatever I need to get. As long as my heart is in the right place, in the right direction, I'm gonna get whatever I need to get. not forget, not F society, not F people. It's not on that type of time. It's basically F your opinions. Like
I
F,
got you.
F what you say that I have to do to get where I need to get. F the fact that you're saying, oh, because you failed, that those are going to be my same failures. No, no. We're two different people. We're two different energy fields. What's going on in my mind is progression. What's going on in your mind at the time might have been worry. That's why your shit fucked up. Simple.
Okay. All right.
That's
So
why society came alive.
no, and you tied it together and put a perfect bow on it for sure. So I do got a question though, because like from what the story you just told me, how do we get to the sports apparel side though? Like how does that transition to that?
Being authentic to who I am. So,
Okay.
right? Well, what I said earlier, I got to be authentic to me. I grew up loving jerseys. Like if you look at my childhood pictures, I got jerseys on.
Me too,
Deion
by
Sanders,
the way.
all of that. Like in high school, we wore jerseys. When I
Uh-huh.
graduated high school, I used to work in Against All Odds. I would spend my check on jerseys. I would even go as far. I'm forgiven for this, but I would even go as far as like we used to steal them from work. You know what I'm saying? Like I would put my freedom on the line for these jerseys, right?
Sure.
So that's how it ties in, just me being authentic to who I am. I don't wear suits, so I'm not gonna be out here making suits. I know suit makers to where I could run an idea past them, like, yo, it'd be dope if we did a suit like this. Here, let's do it, and let's just call it a collaboration because I'm giving you the idea. But I don't make suits. I don't know the ins and outs of a suit. I don't know all of that stuff. I'm not checking for that stuff. I'll eventually learn it, but I have people that I can delegate the idea to where they can get it done, right? So if people started seeing me make suits just out of nowhere, and I did it on my own merit, out of my own ego or my own greed of just trying to just capitalize on everything, for the most part, it'll look forced. It'll be like, oh, well, it's cool, but for real suit makers, they'd be like, well, he didn't do this or he didn't do that. Not that you would care because we're retired from society, but at the end of the day, if you're making a suit, you have to make the suit a certain way so people can wear it the right way, right? So I'm about sportswear. I'm about sports team sports apparel. My first design that was ever published and ever put out into the physical world was this jacket right here, actually.
We're about to get an exclusive, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
had it. So I went to Patterson Catholic. I started taking it apart because I'm going to redo it.
Okay.
And I still have this jacket, obviously, but I started taking it apart. But I actually drew this jacket in high school in class.
Wow.
I drew it. And then once we won a few championships and things that year, that's what prompted me to draw the jacket. But I drew the jacket in class, handed it to my coach, and I was like, yo, coach, I think we should make these as the jackets. And he got them done. So that was my first ever design, which was in high school. So I was already on the path to fashion. I was already there. When I was a kid, even prior to that, I would draw clothes. I would draw all my figures would look like Allen Iverson. All the people, they had braids. I would draw them in jeans and jerseys. Real talk. I would draw jerseys a lot, all the time. And so now as I started retired from society in the beginning, I tried to sell luxury, like Louis Vuitton style stuff or Gucci type stuff, but I don't shop luxury.
You know, let me just say this because of what you just said right here. So when I was looking at the apparel, the first thing that came to my mind, and you can tell me if this is all base or whatever, but the first thing that came to my mind was, yo, he seems like he's like the Dapper Dan of sports apparel.
You know what's funny? I always be saying in my mind, like, yo, I'm Dapper Dan in this. I'm Dapper Dan in this. I actually met him one day.
I met Dap too. Yeah. Shouts out to Dap.
I was at this show and his grandson follows me on the gram. He was with his grandson. So his grandson came up to me. He's like, yo, this is when I was doing custom sneakers. He was like, yo, I follow you, yo, your custom sneakers is crazy. Like I was really like on top of that. Like I was one of them dudes, right? That's ego talk.
Okay.
As far as custom sneakers, like top blogs, nice kicks, hype beasts, all that stuff. So he was like, yo, your custom sneakers is blah, 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 blah. Like so fire, this, that, and the third. And he just was like, yo, you know, I'm out here at the show with my grandfather. I'm like, oh, where? Your grandfather? He's like, yeah, that's my grandfather right there, Dapper Dan. I'm like,
What?
He's like, yeah. He's like, yo. He's like, come, I want you to meet him. I said, all right, cool. So dad comes up. He's like, yo, you must be the man, because my grandson was talking so good about you. He's like, you must be the man, bro. Like, your stuff must be crazy. And I was like, nah, man, I'm just whatever. I just kept it real humble. But that was that. But yeah, I always say in my mind, like, I'm the Dapper Dan. I'm Dapper Danning this whole team sportswear apparel thing. But yeah, like, that's just who I am. I'm being authentic to who I am. I tried to sell luxury, couldn't find a customer, couldn't really understand it because I don't shop luxury.
Right.
And then once I got it in my mind, like, F that, I'm gonna sell sportswear. It look luxury, using luxury materials, using premium materials, premium product. That's when it took off.
Okay.
So that's why I said earlier, it works for me to be authentic. If I'm not authentic, it works for anybody to be authentic, really.
No, that's a fact for sure.
Yeah, if you're not authentic, you're not gonna get much accomplished. You might get a quick strike, but it's not gonna last forever. It's not sustainable.
Okay. So when you retired from society into the sports apparel world, like, what was your first hit to, in the, because you got partners. Well, I don't know if you can talk about this or whatever, but you got some partnerships with some major leagues. Let's just say that.
So I'm a vendor with Fanatics, which enables me to create anything for anybody they buy for.
Got you.
So with that being said, I just came back from a Valkyries WNBA
Golden State Valkyries WNBA team.
Yeah, they did a drop for the product that we did for them on Saturday. So I was out there to see that, which is an amazing experience. I have something with the Bulls, Chicago Bulls, dropping in January. And then right now I'm just going to start creating decks for those other teams that's under that Fanatics umbrella.
Okay.
So yeah. And then all the other stuff that you see, that's just me doing custom work.
Okay, so like the stuff I saw, like with the Knicks and stuff like that, that's all custom.
Yeah, it's custom work. People like, yo, I want this, I want that. And I came upon that decision because I knew by doing that, eyes would be on the brand. I knew that recognition would be soon to follow. And my intuition told me right. My intuition, you never discount your intuition. If your intuition tells you don't go through that door, don't go through that door.
Trust your gut.
Yeah, always. Your gut is God.
In
reality, your gut is God. Like, your gut is the one that's like, I don't think so. And if you go against that grain, guess what?
I would say, yeah, you'll find out real quick.
You'll find out. And a matter of how you'll find out is truly up to the Lord, right?
Right.
Like a harsh reality, or just something that's like,
okay,
I ain't gonna do that again. My gut was just like, because at first I had my buymalcolmgarret.com website. I was pushing jersey through that, but I was seeing the impact. I'm like, yo, I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, what if I just switched it over to Retired, start branding it that way? Then now I can get eyes on the brand, and then Retired from Society can become more of a household name. So that's what I did. I was like, F it. I'm gonna just go do it. I don't care about legals. I don't care about court or none of that. I'm just gonna do it. If I do it the right way, teams will reach out and teams will want to work, right? Instead of them saying stop. If I do it the right way, they'll be like, let's look into this, let's work. And I promise you it worked. Like, it worked. So
real quick, let me ask you, because people kind of like go through this too. So when you say the right way, what's the right way of going about that? Because some people do these things, but then they might get hit with stop doing my stuff, and they could be doing it pretty good. So what's the right way in your opinion?
In my opinion, is not devaluing the brand.
Okay.
Not devaluing it as far as design. Not altering their logo without their permission.
Got you.
Even your marketing material, your photos, just having taste behind it. Not giving off the perception that you're moving 1,000 units of these things. Because if you're giving off the perception that you're moving numbers, guess what? they're gonna be like, oh, you becoming a little bit more bigger than us.
Mm-hmm.
And once you start tapping into that zone of becoming bigger than them without the permission, that's when they're like, yo, chill out, bro.
Yeah, that's when the problems arise.
That's when the problems I feel arise. But I feel like with prayer, humbleness, designing tastefully,
Mm-hmm.
presenting tastefully, I don't think you'll run into an issue. I don't think so. Certain teams don't play like the Yankees. They don't play around.
Yeah. I
I don't really play with the Yankees too much.
I was saying you see all my Yankees.
Yeah, if I do a Yankee drink, if I do a Yankee piece, it's for me.
Okay, all right.
Other than that, I don't
So
really play.
so you know, so you don't sell it, is what you're saying?
Nah,
Got you.
I don't. I'll put it up to broadcast like, yo, I'm doing custom work, but this a one-on-one. You're not
Got
getting
you.
it.
I got you.
Right? But I found that a lot of teams, they'll see it and they'll be like, oh, this is dope. And they'll reach out. Like, I mean, I've had somebody from MSG, they emailed me and was like, yo, how much for these pants?
Really?
And I'm looking at the email and I'm like, okay. So I go down to like where you got your phone number, the website.
Yeah.
After a few emails, I'll say. After a few emails, I start looking at the info because they're asking me pretty specific questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay. And these are not questions that your typical customer would ask.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm seeing all this. I'm like, let me look at who this person really is. So I look at the information. It's like MSG, blah, 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 2 Penn Plaza. I'm like, oh, this person from the Garden.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, we want to get these pants made for Larry David. Do you think you can make a matching jacket? I'm like,
hold on. Larry David wore your pants?
I don't know if he wore it yet, but we made it for him. They gifted it to him. It's just one of those things where I'm gonna have to run across the picture or hopefully find it on there. But yeah, they reached out. So that could have easily been a like, yo, chill out, but it wasn't. And then they doubled back and was like, yo, we trying to do something else again for the Google Dolls, which is a rock band from like the 90s.
Yeah.
Right? So they're like, yo, we trying to double up and do that again. So it could have easily been a chill, but they like, nah, we fucking with this. Like, we want to be a part of that. And I was able to deliver those pieces in the time frame that they needed.
Right.
Was able to march my ass right over to the Garden and hand it to her and build that relationship. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm locked in with them. So I have really nothing to really worry about, right?
Okay.
Unless I start doing Knicks stuff that just devalues the Knicks brand.
Yeah. I got you.
So like with the Bulls, what I did for them was they gave me their logo assets and they were like, yo, create with this. And I'm like, because they wanted me to do some type of distressed on the corduroy tops. And I'm like, the distressed graphics that you sent me will only work on t-shirts. With embroidery, that won't work. I said, but what we can do, if you give me permission, put cracks in the Bulls logo. And they was like, yeah, go ahead, do it. Let's see what it looked like. I sent them the proof. They was like, oh, this is dope. Let's do it. So they gave me permission to kind of dismantle the logo a little bit. Had I went on my own and did that and just put it out, then they'll probably be like, yo, nah, we're not feeling that. Chill.
Communication is key.
But they gave me the permission. So now the right way, also the real right way, is to actually just go out there and just try to get the license.
Okay. And for people who don't know how that works, how do you go about doing that?
I really don't know how that works, but
okay.
I think you contact the league officials. I know there's a lot of paperwork involved. I briefly went over it like a few years ago. And that's another thing too, man. This is not really off topic, but it is. When you're aspiring to do certain things, it's not wise to tell certain people sometimes, because years ago, I thought this guy was a mentor, and I went to him. I was like, yo, because he was in the fashion game for a while. So in my mind, I'm like, he got resources.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was a mentor because we spoke often.
Yeah.
And he would give me guidance on certain things. So I was like, yo, yeah, I want to acquire a league license. Oh, what do you need that for? You don't need that. You don't need this. You shouldn't be worried about this. And you shouldn't worry about. He just really talked me off the edge of trying to get it. And it just discouraged me from trying to get it. And I never pursued it. And then in my mind, I'm like, damn, had I pursued it and I would have it, I'll be fucking rocking right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the timeline. That's just how life is. You know what I'm saying? So I don't speak to him anymore because that really opened my eyes on how people move. And that's not the reason I don't speak. He did something. He did something else. Fast forward, like years later, that made me really be like, I gotta get away from this guy.
I got you.
So, yeah, you can just contact league officials or contact teams directly for the local license. And what the local license allows you to do is sell that team's merch on your website or anything like that within that, I think, local radius or something like that.
Okay.
But that's ultimately the real right way to do it. But I think putting it out there first is the best way because then now you have proof of concept.
Mm-hmm. Like here, this is how I made it. This is what it looks like. People actually rock with it.
Right. And if you have that proof of concept and they can go on your gram and see the engagement behind it, like, yo, it's fire, it's crazy, this or that, then that gives them all the reason to be like, yo, let's work with this. Let's see what's good. So yeah, that's just my opinion.
Okay. No, like I said, the reason I asked that question is because, like it's not, a thing that I guess people get privy to as far as the information is concerned of like, oh, this is somebody that's, doing fashion, but they have, these different, imprints in the NBA or the WNBA or stuff like that. So the reason I asked that question is so you could kind of just give people perspective as to how that might have came about or what it looks like in order to get to that point for aspiring creators or fashion designers or whatever the creative outlet may be.
Yeah, I think that connecting with the right people, having the right individuals around you. So like my case in point, right? Dude walked me off the ledge of getting that license when he really could have just been like, let me see who I could talk to. But he gate kept. So like, I don't do shit like that.
Right.
If you ask me, yo, how, like my man, he was like, yo, my man is like this with Allen Iverson.
Okay.
Like this.
All right.
He invited me to the premiere for the documentary, everything. He even had me cook up. If you look at the Iverson documentary, Iverson got this leather suit on. We did that suit.
Oh, wow.
Right? Because my man, he found me on the gram. He was like, yo, you doing fire shit. I want to connect you with Chuck, blah, blah, blah. So we built a relationship. And my man came to me. He was like, yo,
do you want to shout out who it is? I don't know.
Jabbar. Yeah, my man Jabbar.
Okay.
Jabbar, yeah, my man Jabbar came to me. He was like, yo, I'm trying to do X. And I was like, look, put it together and I'll create the layout for you.
Okay.
Because he wasn't really familiar with doing that. I was like, put it together. I'll put the layout for you for a presentation for you to present to whoever you need to present to get your thing going.
Right.
And I did it for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's my man. He took care of me. I'm going to take care of him. But my point in saying that is with this other guy, he just straight up was like, nah, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do this. Don't worry about this. When he could have easily just been like, even if he had no intent, he could have easily just been like, let me see who I could talk to.
Right.
And then got back to me later like, yo, I couldn't really find nobody. I didn't really know nobody, even if he was lying.
Right.
But he sat there and straight was like, nah. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Said, oh, okay. So it just be things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like where people see your greatness, but they throw a little roadblocks in the way to try to deter you from that. But guess what? I'm still getting to where I need to get to. Because my faith is that strong.
You already know. So what's next for Retire from Society? What you got going on that might, we might see next?
Right now I'm working on a tracksuit. I'm working on these these hoodies. So this hoodie I have on, this is actually attached.
Oh, I thought that was two separate parts. That's one.
No, it's
Oh,
attached.
that's crazy.
Yeah, so when it's cold out, you don't feel no wind on your neck.
Oh yeah.
Got your hoodie up, you don't feel no wind on your neck. And this idea came like on some like just out of the blue. Like I was one day, I had a quarter zip on.
Mm-hmm.
I stepped outside and it was mad cold. It was chilly. And I'm like, damn, it's chilly out here. So
I had a
I
hood
just
to put on my head.
threw the hoodie right over top. I was like, I'm not gonna take this off. Because I didn't want to wear a jacket.
Mm-hmm.
I just threw the hoodie over top. And then I looked in the mirror to adjust. And I'm like, oh,
It's kind of look fly a little bit.
I'm like, that's fire. So I started doing my research to see if anybody had done it.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw one joint where somebody did this, but it was a mask.
I got you.
Mask. The mouth was out.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what if I just cut it at the neck and just left it as that?
Yeah,
So,
I see. Because I was looking at it the whole time while we talking, and I'm like, you got like a turtleneck on under the hood?
yeah.
But I ain't know it was one piece though. That's hard though. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yep. So I was like, I mocked it up, and I was like, yo, we got to do this. So working on that.
Okay.
The tracksuit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the new decks that I'm gonna create. We did the Valkyries drop. Customers came through. They was eating that stuff up.
Yeah, I was saying it looked like it was a really good reaction to the drop. Can you talk about that since that was something that you just did?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, please talk about it.
The fans came through, showing support. A few people had me sign a few shirts. The love that was shown was just incredible. Some people was like, yeah, I've been following you for like 5 years already. And it's crazy to see that you got a drop with the team that's from my city. And
right.
It was love. They gifted me a free custom jersey. So I got a Valkyries jersey.
Okay. You got your name on the back?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That was my second time in San Francisco. The first time I went was for the fashion show they did.
Okay.
Which was phenomenal as well. Yeah, it was a good time, man. I talked to a lot of the staff, a lot of the people who I've been emailing with, finally got to see them face to face. And we just vibed out and kicked it. The Valkyries organization is an organization full of people that's just full of great energy.
Okay.
Like, for real. I haven't met nobody else in no other organizations, but some of the people that I've talked to in other organizations, they weren't as like
I got you. Yeah.
Valkyries folks. And I believe partly because they're new.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an amazing experience, man. Glad I got to go.
Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, shouts out to Frisco, man. San Fran. That's a beautiful place to be. And then, like you said, the Golden State Valkyries being a new WNBA team, I'm sure it's a lot of life and energy going through that building, So I'm glad you was able to get there and, do a drop for them. So definitely shouts out to you for that, for sure, bro.
You been to Frisco?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Frisco.
Yeah. Pretty nice place, man.
Yeah, it's dope. For sure.
Yeah, man. Okay, so I know I got to get you out of here. So, but before I do, though, do you have any questions that you want to ask me about anything that we talked about or may not have talked about yet? Feel free, though. Please feel free.
Nah, I think
You sure?
we pretty much. Yeah, I think we pretty much covered a lot. Yeah, I don't have anything, man.
I say it could be about anything: fashion, music, anything that we may or may not have talked about.
You know what really gets my creative juices going? Classical music.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't really listen to lyrical music anymore.
Okay, what's the reason behind that?
It's all spiritual.
Okay.
So I had to ask myself one day. I was like, what am I absorbing about what? If someone is singing about being in a sad state, why do I need to listen to that? Because I'm not there.
Right.
I'm not sad. Mm-hmm. If someone is rapping about bees and hoes and chicken heads and orgies and all that, why do I need to listen to that? I'm not there spiritually.
Right.
Where I am spiritually is music, instruments, frequency. You know what I'm saying? I'm not listening to trap music. I'm not listening to even old school hip hop. I'm like, yo, they really degrading women. They talking about selling drugs to the community. Like,
Mhm.
Although some things are just going to be classic and it's going
Yeah,
to bump
yeah, for sure.
forever, but I'm not intentionally saying, yo, I'm about to listen to Jay-Z all day, or I'm
Mhm.
about to listen to Future all day. Like if it come on and I'm in that groove real quick, cool.
Mhm.
But most of the times I can't even get through the whole song because at this point in my life, I'm just like, I don't want to hear that.
Mhm.
So now it's more like beats, jazz, classical music, soft stuff, meditation music, nature sounds. Those are the things that really keep me in a space of like, yo, cool. Like everything is cool. You listen to a song about having all this money and having all these chicks and stuff. You
Mhm.
really got to ask yourself, like, do I really want that? Like, do I really want to be inhaling or absorbing that type of energy? Me
Music
personally, no.
spiritual.
So I stopped. Even R&B, like I would listen to an R&B song. I'm like, dude, this person sounds depressed, bro. I don't want to like absorb that. Cause yo, believe it or not, music at certain frequencies fucks with you.
No, for sure. Music is a very spiritual thing, for
Right.
sure.
That's how they slip. That's how these people
Mhm.
slip in all this stuff to you through music, through the
Mhm.
through the 808s, through the words that are being
Yep.
said, through the melodies that are being played. All these things take a toll on you, and you don't even
Mhm.
know. You just think it's good. Like I had went away one weekend, right, with a friend of mine,
Uh-huh.
and in the morning she's playing like Cardi B and them. I'm like, yo,
The morning? Wow.
if you're gonna play it, it don't have to be that loud. Oh, I like my music loud. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna have to get up out of here.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I it's
I
just not.
That's a fact, for sure.
Yeah, if you like your music loud, cool. But you gotta understand you with somebody else.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta respect that space too.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to your music loud, grab some headphones and go crazy.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But that's just where I'm at. There's no way I need to be listening to loud ass music the first thing I wake up. Cause
So let me
one,
ask you. Oh, my fault. Go ahead, my bad.
no, I was gonna say because one, I wake up like 4 or 5 in the morning. So
Oh, yeah, yeah,
during
type
those,
early, for
yeah,
sure.
during those hours, it's straight silence,
Mhm. Hell yeah.
spiritual hours.
Mhm. Kinda just, just get yourself acclimated to the world and, just
Nah,
take
not the world,
breathe a little bit.
not the world. Acclimated to myself.
Oh, to yourself. All right,
'Cause at that time, the world ain't up. Up. Nobody's bothering me. Nobody's texting. Nobody's pulling. Nobody's emailing. I might wake up to those things, but it's not happening in real time. So during those hours, I get to acclimate myself to myself. What do I want to do today? How do I want to feel today? What's my goals today? What should I be accomplishing today?
Mhm.
Oh, I don't want to do nothing today. I'm gonna just chill. I'm gonna go get a
Mhm.
massage today. Those are the things that you hone in on when you first wake up, rather than waking up and saying, "Yo, what's these motherfuckers doing over here? What's going on over here? Like, what's
That's a
happening?"
that's a good point. No,
You know
you
what I'm saying?
100% correct for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
And granted, I don't do it every morning, so I
Yeah,
don't. I
yeah,
don't want to do it. But
yeah.
for the most part, I am on that type of time. Like, nah, let me figure out what I'm trying to get done today.
Okay,
Spiritually.
so let me ask you about the music thing. So, like, what do you listen to, like currently that kind of puts you in that space? Because I know you mentioned a few different things. Natural music, jazz. You mentioned classical music. Like, can you name some of the things or artists that you listen to?
So I like the big names like Miles Davis, um, Dave Quebec band,
Uh huh.
um, Dizzy Gillespie.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to I forgot it's like this Japanese jazz band. Like I listen to Japanese jazz as well.
I ain't gonna hold you. Japanese jazz is actually one of the most
It's
underrated.
fire. It's fire.
Super, bro. Super.
Even like Brazilian jazz, bossa nova, like I listen to those,
Mhm.
especially like because I've been to Italy a few times. If I'm out in
Okay.
Italy, I'm listening to bossa nova because that's the scene, that's the
Yeah.
setting, that's
Yep.
it feels that way. Nice cup of tea, just listening to that.
Mhm.
What else am I listening to? Like I said, I listen to bioacoustics. I started getting into that, which is like water sounds, like whales under the
Okay.
water, things like that. I listen to
Lo-fi.
lo-fi, yeah, lo-fi for sure. I listen to It's this healing frequency music
Okay.
sounds that I have on Audible.
Mm-hmm.
So they have one for sleep, one for motivation, one for positive, one for sleep, motivation, bliss, sexual activity,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have like one more. But I listen to those things. I listen to modern contemporary jazz.
Okay.
What else? Old school music.
Oh, like what?
Marvin Gaye's.
Okay, all right, all right. Now you speaking my language.
Yeah, Marvin Gaye's, Stevie Wonder, Wonders. Is this one band that they sing gospel and they have the dopest gospel songs I've ever heard in my life. They're called the Supreme Jubilees.
Okay.
Google them, bro. I'm telling you, dude. Like,
I feel like I might have heard of them before, but I'm not
bro,
familiar with the music. I don't think so. I definitely tap in for sure.
their music is
Jubilees,
what? Yeah,
the Supreme Jubilees.
their music is fire. Them, Ashford and Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I do listen to lyrical music, it's the older where they're actually professing their love for somebody. Oh, I love you, girl, or I'll do this for you. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Not in the sense of I'm so sad and depressed you left me, or I feel like harming myself because you. Nah, I don't want to hear all of that.
Yeah, the Vandross or something,
Luther,
man.
I listen to Luther. He's not heavy on my rotation, but I'll listen to Luther. I listen to what's her name? I want to thank you, Heavenly Father. Alicia Myers. Alicia Myers, the Gap Band, Earth, Wind and Fire.
For sure.
Them. Who else? LTD.
Yo, yeah. Shouts out to Jeffrey Osborne.
Yeah, man, all of those guys. Frankie Beverly and Maze. Yeah, I gotten more into that type of music as I've gotten older.
Okay.
Not so much more hip hop anymore.
Hey, I completely understand. You know, I've been in a good space with soul and R&B music myself.
Yeah, and sometimes I just sit in silence, bro. I could work in silence for hours. Hours. Like, I can go in silence for hours. Some people be like, yo, that's mad weird. I'm like, no, it's not, because I'm comfortable with myself. I'm comfortable just sitting here by myself, just tuning into my own thoughts and feelings. Like, I'm good with that. I can sit for hours and be good.
Nah, yeah. And to that point though, that's one of them things like what we was talking about before, like how people kind of got to get to a certain point to be able to do certain things. A lot of people can't sit in silence or be by themselves in any capacity or frequency. So, one of those things is, being able to get to that point. Like, it's very refreshing to be able to just sit in silence and be by yourself sometimes and just kind of, I guess, disconnect from the world.
Right. Because you get to think.
It's important.
And a friend of mine, he said that his dad told him one time, his dad was like, I only listen to jazz. And he asked the dad, he was like, why? He's like, because it allows me to think for myself.
Because it's no words.
No words. So if you got lyricals going on, you're not really thinking for yourself. If you're saying, repeating and reciting these same words that these rappers or whoever is saying, and you're putting that out in the universe, guess what? Words are powerful, no matter if they're your words or not. It's still powerful. So I encourage everybody to just be careful what you're saying. Slow down when you're talking.
Yeah. What's the old adage? You got two ears and one mouth for a reason.
Yeah. Slow down when you're talking, bro. Slow down when you're talking, sister. Take your time on your speech, because the amount of things that I hear come from people's mouths when they talking, I just be like, yo, you're setting yourself up. But then when you say something, it's like, oh, I was just joking. I'm like,
yeah, and to that point too is again the old adage of, the words don't know that they're jokes. You know what I mean? Like,
the subconscious doesn't know that.
Exactly.
Your subconscious knows that you said that word and you were firm about it. So guess what? That's what it's gonna give you.
It's gonna be.
That's it. Your subconscious don't know jokes. If you say, oh, I'm so right, your subconscious ain't gonna be like, ha, ha. No, your subconscious is gonna be like, guess what? Ha, ha. I'm giving you more shit to feel like you're dumb about.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
You know, and like I said too, to be completely honest, like I'm very happy that this conversation, like, went the way that it went when we talked a lot about the things that we talked about, because again, it's one of those conversations where you might not get a chance to talk about these things because everybody just wants to talk about retire from society and what you got going on with the clothing brand, so on and so forth, and we don't get to have these types of conversations. But people are more than just the things that they do creatively or the things that they do at a job or so on and so forth. Like, people have real life experiences that people can learn from, when people share them. So I'm very thankful, grateful, and blessed for you to be able to be on the HolloTalk podcast talking to me and, sharing these experiences to let people know these are things that are real things that real people go through. And this is how you come out on the other side of those things and going through those things to become a better person. And then you can take those things and apply it to the creativity and the things you do at your job and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, retire from society ties into everything I said.
Exactly.
The reason why we're on this podcast right now is
Mm-hmm.
because I was able to go through that, live that, and then say, yo, I'm good on y'all. If y'all think that it should be this way for me, I'm cool.
Mm-hmm.
So it really ties into everything. It just completely makes sense. That's how I know like everything I'm doing is working,
Of
because
course.
everything I'm doing is authentic to who I am and what I've been through and what I've seen. So it's just a matter of putting this message out there more.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, yes, I create clothes. I design clothes along with my partner, Tanaka.
Mm-hmm.
And then the few teammates that I have that I delegate certain things to. But at the end of the day, it all starts with me, because I
Right.
have to be dialed in on what I want and who I am and where I want to go. So I always got to keep my mind sharp. I got to stay healthy, for one.
Mm-hmm.
And that retire from society lifestyle is just that: keeping your mind sharp, staying healthy, connecting with your people, doing what's right by people, not shortchanging people, not getting over on people,
Mm-hmm.
and not taking ish from people. And really just saying to the world, like, yo, this is what I'm doing, man. Either
Mm-hmm.
you like it or not. Other than that, do what you got to do. Simple as that. It's not hard.
No,
People
no.
make things hard. Things don't need to be hard. I'm the most cut and dry person. I just want things black and white, cut and dry. And I tell people that. Like, I was going through a training one day, and she's like, yeah, this, that. I'm like, I said to the lady, I said, ma'am, just let me know what I really need to do. Let's just get to
Right.
like
Let's just get right to it.
potatoes, like all the other stuff. Because then she proceeds to say, yeah, because you probably really won't be needing that. I'm like, exactly. So why are we
Why are
like,
you even telling me this?
why are we there? Like, take me to the water. When I get to the water, I'll drink. Like, you don't have to feed me the water. You don't have to serve me the water. Get me to the water, I'll drink, and I'm good. Straight up. So I'm very like that. Very like that. Somebody call me like, yo, you busy? What do you want?
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? No, I was just seeing if you busy. What do you want? Tell me what you want. Oh, I want an XYZ. All right, cool. Like, I mean, all you had to do is, look, I know you might be busy, but XYZ, blah, blah, blah. Can you fulfill that? Either yes or no.
Right.
And I'm like that. Like, I'll be like, either let me think about it, or, yeah, I could do that, or, nah, I don't know if I could fulfill that right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're not with all the fluff. I got you.
No, I'm not with fluff at all, because I don't give fluff. I don't give nobody fluff. If I'm calling you, I'm asking you, well, yo, XYZ on this. What's this? What's this? What's down the third?
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. So
Yeah, y'all heard it from the man himself. It really ain't nothing more for me to even say about that.
yeah, no fluff, man. No fluff.
Okay, all right. So, is there any last couple of things that you might want to say? People you want to shout out? Anything that you might have hadn't mentioned yet that you want to mention? You got the space now.
Yeah, I just want to shout out the people who work with me closely, which is, like I said, my partner Tanaka.
Okay, shouts out to Naka.
Yeah, Tim
Shouts
Sumter.
out to Tim. What up, Tim? What up, baby?
Yeah. My friend my brother that I grew up with, he helps me with like brand strategy. My brother Malik.
Oh, shouts out to Malik.
My sister, not my real sister, but like my sister from another mister, Nelly. She helps me, keep the finances in order for the business.
Hey, that's one of the most important people on the team.
Yeah. And then not my girlfriend, but my girl Maria. I just kind of onboarded her not too long ago to help out with some more customer service, back end email type situations, / brand management. To the models that I've worked with, my man Lewis, Mike. That's pretty much it. The website is www.retiredfromsociety.com. The Instagram is at RFS brand. What else?
What's your personal IG?
My personal IG is at Malcolm Garret, MALCOLMGARRET.
Okay.
Like I said, we got the Bulls drop coming in January. It's not to the public. It's going to be a drop for Amex members / Bulls fans, where they'll be gifting away our product.
Okay.
We just did the Valkyries drop, which you can purchase in arena. It's not on our website.
It's not online.
No, we're not. I'm not selling it. I made the product for them. They're selling it, but I'm allowed to promote it.
Got you.
And then, like I said, we have the tracksuit coming up.
When's that drop coming?
I'm looking at late December.
Okay.
Late December, and then the hoodies will follow later.
The one that you got on currently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I'm just, just a bunch of other things that we have in the creative box that we're gonna be. I got some phenomenal. I have a phenomenal. How could I explain this? So I'll leave it at this. As you know, I've been doing like the custom corduroy team pieces. So I was one of my guys, mentor. I'll say he's a mentor. I'll give him a mentor title. But he was just like, "Yo, you should start doing ABA or Negro League." I'm like, so one night I just was in silence and I was just thinking, like, why don't I just create my own Negro League? Like, why don't I just create a league where we like 8 teams, then we can grow it. But with that, we create our own logos.
Okay.
Create our own stories behind the teams. We create a star player. We create the narrative. We create the team colors. We create the home colors, the away colors. We create the league logo.
Okay.
We create what the league is about. But it's all centered around African-American sports and history and things like that. So we would create our own league, call it the Heritage League, right? So I have this idea of just saying, you know what? You ever heard of Ebbetsfield?
Yes.
So kind of create my own Ebbetsfield.
Okay.
And using names like, the New York Spades. Black people love to play spades.
Right.
New York Spades or the New Jersey Lancers or things like that.
And these aren't real teams though. Like none of this
making it from scratch.
Okay, and this is like your own created world.
Oh, so the
gotcha.
Own world. Like this would be logos and IPs we would own.
And none of the players or the stories or anything. This isn't like real life stuff.
It's fictitious. It's just
gotcha.
It's Lucky Lefty Jones, right?
Okay,
like
I got you.
Player of the New York Spades used to spend his nights in New York clubs, but at the same time, when he would play the piano in the club, he would go in the back and sew together a T-shirt. Then come back out and then finish playing the piano for the people, and the people would love it. And then after that, next day he'd go play the game, drop 50, come back to the local jazz club the next day, play a number and sing. Blah blah blah, shit like that.
Okay,
but
all right.
like so, it would be like a jersey, And this jersey wouldn't have that information. It would be like take a Yankees jersey, but it'd say Spades with the
Yeah.
number and then his name on the back and whatever design we choose. So I'm thinking like that.
Okay, and this is called the Heritage League.
Yeah, that's the name, the Heritage
Okay.
League. So we're looking to drop that February. Black History Month will be the drop. Perfect time to drop it.
I like how you think. I like how you think. See, because baseball is my favorite sport, so this is one of them things where I'm like, oh yeah, because and two, not to mention, obviously you see the hats in the background, so a lot of my fashion surrounds the hat that I wear on that day. So
Right.
being a student of baseball history, obviously the Negro Leagues is one of like the things for me where it's very very important enough to where I had I don't know if you ever saw this documentary, but it's called The League, done by Sam Pollard, who I actually had come out to a film program that I was a part of and had him basically do a screening of this documentary called The League, and had him do a talk back with the rest of the kids that did films, or he gave advice to the kids and everything like that. But I also got a chance to do a live sit down with him, 30-minute interview, and have him answer questions about the documentary that he had just shown and everything, and people was able to kind of be like, you was able to go out and talk to him and touch him and everything, and the whole thing, so that's how important the Negro Leagues is to me, that I even went that far to reach out to him and have him come out and do that. So I appreciate what you're doing. Long story short, basically.
Yeah. I think it'd be dope to do that, introduce that, and just have people like, oh, this is not, like, let's say we make a vintage aviator leather jacket, just real vintage, real beat up, but with the Negro League team on it. Like I just don't see people bypassing that. I just
Right,
don't.
and not for nothing, it's not a lot of like Negro League apparel out there like that for real. Like anytime I walk in the Lids or any hat store or something like that, like I'll go just to see if they have like a section of Negro League apparel, and they'd be like, like I got like these last two hats right here, or I'll be like, damn, y'all don't got nothing, man. Like even right here, this is probably the only Negro League apparel that I got. So it's the Kansas City Monarchs hat right here. Yeah, like this is probably like the only Negro League apparel that I could find like on a consistent basis.
Right.
So I went and just copped it. But
Doing
what you about to do is dope though. Like this is really dope to kind of create your own world like that. Storytelling.
You have to. That's how you separate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How long am I gonna just consistently just do the same thing over and over? Like, nah, at some point you gotta really like transcend into something that's, what's the word I'm looking for? Into something that is, I don't want to call it revolutionary, but something that's just, it's a word that I want, but whatever.
It's just something different, It's something different.
Something different, and something that people could be like, yo, we never seen this before. Like, this is a unique idea.
So I will say this too about that particular idea, what you got going on with the Heritage League situation. I have some how do I say, like I guess some skill sets, if you will, that would be really really beneficial to something of the sorts. So we should definitely get together and talk some more about the whole Heritage League thing for sure.
Yeah, just drop your number. Yeah, drop your number in the DM, because if you're the baseball historian you say you are, right, that can be very valuable to what
for sure
we're accomplishing, and we're going to start designing and ideating off that on Thursday. On Thursday, cool. Start ideating and getting ideas together. I mean, we have the storyline and all of that set. That's all.
Right.
It's a matter of now creating the logos and things like that.
Okay. So, all right. So yeah, we if you go with that, we'll definitely get together and talk some more about that for sure.
Yep.
All right. So
drop your number in the DM.
Yeah, I got you for sure. As soon as we get off this, I got you. But last couple of things. First, let me just say thank you, bro, for coming on the HolloTalk podcast and talking to me and giving so much game and so much wisdom to the people. Like, I truly, truly appreciate it. And I'm sure when the people get a chance to listen to this, they'll be appreciative of it as well. And, just from me to you, continue to keep inspiring, like in the ways that you inspire, because, whether you believe it or not, or know it or not, it means something to somebody, and changing somebody's life for the better is all you can really ask for, whether it's one person or a million people. So definitely keep doing your thing for sure.
No, that's why I'm doing it, because I know that.
Mm-hmm.
I know my obligation while I'm here on earth. It's more to understand and learn, but I know what you just said. I know, so that's why I keep doing it. I'm intentional about it.
No, and it's appreciated. That's what I'm saying. From me to you, it's definitely appreciated for sure.
Yep.
Last couple of things. So, could you please provide people with 3 gems that they could take away from this conversation that we had today, so they can apply to their everyday life?
Yeah, be authentic. You can't know yourself if you're chasing the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So be authentic. Listen to people with one ear.
Can you break that one down real quick?
Meaning, like, hear what they say, take it home and digest it first, rather than agreeing to something or saying, yeah, rather than agreeing. Like, hear it. Okay, I hear it. Keep it here. Keep it right here. And if it's valuable, then you keep it and you use it. But if it's not, you just let it slide right out. Like, nah, what they were saying don't really apply to me.
Mm-hmm.
So listen with one ear, especially when it comes to like your craft or like your vision. I should say, when it comes to your vision or what you want, hear people out, but listen to them with one ear. Listen to them with discernment.
Got you.
Be very discerning. That's that. So if I can break it down, be authentic, be discerning. And really find the joys in life.
Okay.
Really find those pockets of joy. Every day is not going to be joyful.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find a pocket in that day where you're like, oh, that was a light moment right there. And I'll give a fourth one too.
Okay, yeah, please do.
Whatever you deem bad that has happened to you, or if you say, why is this happening to me? That is your opportunity to turn that into a piece of gold. Rather than sit there and be like, it happened to me. I have such bad luck. This doesn't work for me. Nothing ever works. No, stop and say to yourself, okay, this happened. How can I turn that into a diamond?
Mm-hmm.
In your darkest moments, those are the times where you make diamonds.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like in your darkest moments, crying, suffering, feeling hurt, feeling despair, feeling left. Those are the moments where you're like, nah, yo, I'm here for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Let me turn this into something valuable. Let me go tell my story. Let me go let people know that I ain't let this stop me. I didn't let that stop me. I didn't let this hold me back. I didn't let this hinder me. So yeah, be authentic, discerning. What was the third one?
You said and enjoy the joys of life.
Enjoy pockets in life, enjoy life. And yeah, make diamonds in your darkest moment. Take those moments that you're like, I'm doomed, and turn it into, nah, this is triumph. This is triumph waiting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was literally down to like the last few dollars on my account for my business. And I was like, damn, I gotta let me switch the jerseys over here and see what's up.
Mm-hmm.
And in those moments, I did that. Oh, a fifth gem, make decisions. You gotta make decisions, make stern decisions, and things will work out in your favor. So if you're like, oh, I don't know if I should do this, because then that means your faith isn't strong.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught in that in between stage of trying to decide of maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. Just pick one of the two and
Yeah.
move forward with it. Gotcha.
Everybody need a little F that in them. Like, man, F that, bro. Like
I mean, I was about to say
everybody need that.
you could say it just to add some emphasis
Yeah.
on it. You could say it
Everybody need a little fuck that. Like, you know
for
what?
sure.
Fuck that, yo. Like, I'm going for it.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a fact. And it's one of them things. Again, like I said, you gotta go through some things to get to those points of, that's how you get. And to be honest, I think that's another thing that comes with age and getting older. The older you get, the more you be like, yeah, fuck
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, look at an older person that's 70, 80. They'll cut you off in line at the supermarket and won't even bat an eye. They'll just be like, whatever, I'm old. Like, what you gonna do? Punch me in the head? Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm trying to get out of this store. I'm too old to be here right now. So if I gotta cut you off, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
And then as a person in my stature, you gotta do nothing but be like, you know what, lady? You got it. You good, man. I'm not about to curse anybody out for cutting me off.
Yeah.
If you're a bit younger, I would look at you and be like, yo, like, you
what
good?
you
Like, what you doing? But if you're older, then it's like, yeah, older people, like you think about it, older people, they don't care. They at a point in life where they're like, I don't give a shit. Yeah, I cut you off, so what you gonna do? You got it.
No, for sure. All right, so last thing, and definitely please stick with me though after we in the pod. But last thing, is there anybody that you will want to see on the HolloTalk podcast next?
Has Tim been up here?
Yeah, Tim has been on the podcast. Yes.
Let's get Malika. I'm gonna see if Malik want to come on here, man.
All right. Yeah.
Malik got a business. He got the Soul Agency, from the Soul Agency.
Okay.
So what do I gotta do? Give you his Instagram?
Yeah. Just pass along the information of how I can reach out, and then I'll just reach out, and hopefully we can make it happen.
Yeah, because Malik is doing good things. He's from the town. He's from Patterson, so hopefully he'll be down to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, just let him know about your wonderful experience on the HolloTalk podcast.
Yeah. I'll prime him first. I'll be like, yo, Malik, I just did this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
They asked me if I thought anybody that would want to be on here. I see you being on video a little bit more on your gram. You got a brand, you got a company. Why not just go on there and just promote your company and gain more clients and help them like you helped me? I really don't feel like he'll be like, no.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, Malik, let's make it happen, man. Man, Mark, thank you so much, bro. And like I said, like when I end, definitely stick with me so we could have a little talk. But I really, really appreciate you, man, for coming on the HolloTalk podcast and talking to me. Like you gave so much game, so many gems, and it's really, really appreciated. Like I said, I know what you do, and like I said, I got a chance to learn more about you. So I'm thankful, grateful, and blessed to be able to have this experience with you, man, and continue to build upon our journeys, our journeys now together. So
for sure, man.
With that being said, I want to thank you again. Please let the people know where they can find you and Retire from Society once again.
At RFS Brand on Instagram, retirefromsociety.com, at Malcolm Garret on IG personal. That's pretty much it. I don't really play around in too many social arenas.
I got you.
So yeah, Instagram is the main spot.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you again, my brother. I appreciate you. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of HolloTalk Podcast. We thank you, and I want to say thank you to all the podcast listeners and supporters for supporting us through and through. And go support my guy, Malcolm Garret, and Retire from Society. Peace and love, y'all.